What's going on, sports fans? Happy Thursday. It is December 16th. We're waiting for a sports card drop on Target.com. However, we do not know when it is going to happen. They're making us wait again. What's going on, everybody? Live from Boston, Massachusetts. Got to get the Target tracker up out of the gutter this morning. Apologize. Hope everybody is doing as good as they could be. How y'all doing this morning? Thursday, early Thursday for sure. Crazy week, guys. It's been a week since Target dropped the very, very small drop on us last week with basically a couple thousand or less of each item available, which was super frustrating, I understand. Super frustrating indeed. But don't fret. We will see some sports cards coming up here soon. But yeah, guys, live from Boston, Massachusetts for one more day, and the Target tracker's being finicky, so I'm just going to restart that browser really quickly. There he is. Schultzy, what's good, baby boy? Good morning. Hot Zone coming our way in a few minutes. That is right, guys. The Hot Zone definitely coming our way. Definitely coming our way in a few minutes, and we've got an hour, well, more like 50 minutes, but we've got an hour to wait, talk about what else is going on in the world of sports cards. We've got an hour to wait and talk about what's going on in just the world of sports in general, talk about what games we're going to bet this weekend, talk about how to score cards on Target.com, and guys, I will point out, as we talk about how to get sports cards from Target.com, beware and remember that the opportunity to get sports cards is not just limited to Target.com. There are other stores that you can get in on as well, and Walmart seems to be doing a lot more of these drops. They're kind of like midday drops, so beware, you guys. Walmart going to be dropping sports cards. Looks like they did yesterday. But they're going to be dropping sports cards at different times through the week, so just pay attention if you can. I understand that not everybody can just look all the time at exactly what website they think is going to be stocking sports cards. There's our Target tracker, but it would behoove you to keep checking on a site like Walmart.com. Have you been to Cape Cod? Didn't know that you were in MA, says I was in the shower. Yes, I love Cape Cod. I absolutely love Cape Cod. It's one of my favorite places to go. There's a couple of swimming areas, you know, if you go right out to the end of the Cape, but also around the rest of the Cape. If you've never been there, home of the Cape Cod Baseball League, by the way, basically a college baseball wooden bat league preparing these guys to go to the majors someday. It's a pretty fun league, but the Cape Cod League happening all along the coastal end of Massachusetts, but it's just beautiful there. They've got some great towns, great seafood, lots of lobster rolls, so many things going on in the Cape, and have wanted to. We've stayed there, like 5 years ago for like 3 days, and we need to go back, so just haven't had the chance to do so. Yeah, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful spot. Siski Whiskey, good morning. Walmart drop is typically 3 p.m., says Dougie Breaks. And I should mention that the Walmart drop then, it typically kind of starts at 3 p.m. and then after that, you kind of see everything else slowly being dropped after that. So just because you didn't necessarily get in on like the first drop of an item from Walmart.com doesn't mean you're going to be missing the next one. So I think anyways, there seem to be decent chances, not only on spots like Target.com, but also Walmart and other online retailers like Best Buy. And you guys got to be keeping your eyes peeled as well for other stores to pop up, because like I heard yesterday, people were getting Chronicles basketball in mass, like on BJ's.com, one of the warehouse stores, just like Sam's Club or Costco. So make sure, I'm going to try and let you guys know what the latest is, but if there is something that you hear before me, please shout me out, let me know, and I'll try to get the word out to the rest of the people. Sorry, guys, the shadows, I just don't know what's going on this morning. The lights not really working like they have been all week, but we'll work with it. Nick says, really need this drop. Put up a grand last night for Spectre, front of the line, no hits. Had to sell one of my kids' gifts. I bet you did, Nick. If you're putting up a grand for Spectre front of the line and you're not getting hits, yeah, I bet you had to sell your kids gifts. It's going to be a bad Christmas if that's the case, man. William says, Cape Cod here? Heck yeah, buddy. Good to see some people tuning in not too far where I am right now, or from where I am. And guys, we are in the Hot Zone officially, 7 a.m. East Coast time, 4 a.m. West Coast time here on Schultzy's Card Pulls. The hot zone is upon us. Yes, Starling Sound says, yes, I got select basketball from Best Buy. I left Chronicles basketball on the shelf full at my local Walmart. I know a lot of people are frustrated that we've been talking about this for a couple weeks, you guys. We're in the middle of release time in sports card release universe right now. So we're kind of waiting for Mosaic basketball. We've seen some Chronicles basketball hitting the shelves like at the likes of Walmart and other stores that you just heard mentioned, but we haven't seen Chronicles basketball dropping on Target.com yet, and that's a huge indicator as far as like a chance at it online or a chance at it as an online restock. For Mosaic, you're going to have to wait for Chronicles on Target.com to drop first. So I know people are really pining for Mosaic, and kind of seems like Chronicles at this point is just in the way of the Mosaic release. But I mean, you guys, Chronicles can be a fun rip. You know, don't sneeze at it. There are LaMelo Ball auto redemptions in there. I mean, the chances are slim, but you could pull a crazy card out of Chronicles basketball. And with the class of rookie players, I understand that the market isn't valuing a lot of those guys too highly right now, but with the class of rookie players that there is at this point, don't you guys think that there are the potential for maybe 2 or 3 of those other guys like we were talking about yesterday, like Tyrese Maxey or Cole Anthony, to pop off and add some value over the next 5 to 10 years of their career? I think that that's huge, you guys. I think that that could be something big, and I don't think that we need to be too frightened of LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards being the only people that are going to succeed in the NBA. Don't you worry about that. Don says Chronicles is a fun rip. Indeed, man, it really is, you guys. I personally love Chronicles. I understand why people don't like it. I know that the mix of different sets isn't necessarily some people's cup of tea. I get it, but I think that it's fun to see, you know, at least a chance at like a parallel that you're not normally going to pull out of something else. Although Panini seems to be changing up the game a little bit, because like we've seen a couple of their releases like XR football that have only been in Chronicles up to this point are now just in a bunch of other products as well, like Chronicles, but are also in their own release, which doesn't really make sense, because it's not like we need more releases. We just need Panini to work with their distributors and stop flippers. I mean, honestly, that's the way that Panini and Topps have handled this, unfortunately, you guys, is instead of actually try to implement policies to stop flippers, what they've done is increase print runs. And it's super frustrating for fans that are trying to continually grab, you know, the singles that they want to invest in that they think could grow in value, because, well, the base singles pretty much aren't going to grow in value like people thought that they were a year and a half ago. So you got to go for those colored parallels. And then the chances of getting those colored parallels is seeming to be better because of the extra amount of boxes. And with those extra print runs, especially like for Select, for example, from Panini, there are just almost unlimited colored parallels. I mean, for Select football, you were looking at over 100 or almost 140 different colored parallels. So, and by the way, you guys, I should mention, can't forget to mention, this stream sponsored by Otis. We'll hear from them coming up here later in the live stream. David asking if anything is dropping. We have not seen anything so far, David, unfortunately. Nothing dropping. Man, the light this morning has just been absolutely terrible. Sorry about that, guys. Not sure what's going on. Beast of the Beauty Break says it's all about the money for Panini and Topps right now before it ends for them. And it's kind of sad, because they're sitting out there doing interviews saying the exact opposite. And they did interviews last year with guys like Sports Card Investors. And the same executive that he had on last Christmas came on with him again. I want to say a week or two ago, talking about, you know, Panini's print runs and updates to that kind of thing. And of course, he's not answering any hard questions. It's really frustrating, because stuff that they actually need to talk about isn't really getting discussed. So you're not really sure exactly where to go, other than, well, I know that Panini's going to be printing a lot and trying to get their money grabbed, so I guess I'm going to have to try and buy cards somehow. So if I can't get them at retail stores, well, then I'm going to show up to StockX, and I'm going to be buying the resales on eBay, because y'all want something to rip. I understand. GLDO says Chronicles MLB is awesome. People hate it because of the lack of license, but some of those cards are amazing. I ripped 3 Target Megas and was very impressed. There you go, buddy. Well, good to know that the people that do enjoy Chronicles Baseball are having a lot of fun ripping it, because you don't want to see people spending so much money on boxes and every single time being disappointed. I mean, it's the game, you guys. When you buy some boxes, it's just because of the game of odds that we're all playing. You are bound to be disappointed at some points. Ryan says, dang, so kabooms and hangers do exist? I must just be unlucky. Well, yeah, hangers from Absolute Football do contain kabooms, you guys, but kabooms are so hard to pull. They are not very easy, so a lot of people get super disappointed when they get some Absolute Football and they don't pull a kaboom. You guys, if the kabooms were as common as you want them to be, then they wouldn't be as valuable as you want them to be, and they wouldn't be as highly sought after, so nobody would really care, so then you wouldn't really want to pull the kabooms in the first place. Somebody let me know, as we are seeing on the monitors, no sports card movement yet, but somebody's spotting some console movement. Let's see what's going on with that, you guys. Let you know for sure if we are not seeing a sports card drop but a console drop instead. I would absolutely love to try and confirm that for y'all. Somebody's saying consoles just loaded. Seeing a ton of toys overnight. Although, man, guys, with Target and the way that they've been doing things with their console restocks as well, just because they load their consoles doesn't even mean that they're going to have a restock for those. But you know what? Sounds like we do have the possibility of a console drop coming today, guys, instead of sports cards. So it looks like the people that were saying that console drops were happening this week were correct. GRA Sports Cards, a $2 super chat, says, consoles are dropping, dude. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the very, 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 very generous super chat, brother. GRA Sports Cards, $2. I appreciate you, man. All right, guys. I already have a PS5 and an Xbox Series X, says Blaze One Sports Cards. Yeah, just trying to confirm, you guys, I have now seen, as of about 30 seconds ago, popping up on my monitors. Looks like we do have some consoles that have been preloaded. Nothing is in stock as of yet, but usually that means we can call it very early on the sports cards. However, if you guys want to grab consoles, you want to grab an Xbox, you want to grab a PS5, people trying to grab those for Christmas, for the family, for themselves, not a bad attempt to do so. I think you guys have a chance today. Stevie Stack says, I don't see consoles loading. If you wait a couple of minutes, then you will probably end up seeing them load, my friend. Electric City Breaks says, my buddies pulled 3 kabooms out of 29 blasters. Unreal luck. Yeah, man, that's just ridiculous. The variance sometimes, it affects all of us, and sometimes the variance on the positive end, it just means that you are running on fire at sometimes. 3 kabooms out of 29 blasters. Yeah, those are unreal odds, man. Congratulations. Yeah, Joe, we're going to get some links up for you guys and get that going. Mansis says, I already paid for a PS5 at resale price. Caviar Collectibles says, which console? Looking like all of them, buddy, except for that Xbox Halo. Stevie says, I want to hang out here with you, bud. Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it, man. Seriously, that means a lot. You guys are awesome, and I can't thank you enough for your support. Sorry if I sound a little bit tired this morning, but you know how it works, traveling and jet lag, and been in Massachusetts almost a week now, so I'm definitely feeling it a little bit. Siski says, smash the like before you go. Appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, if you aren't going to be sticking around for cards and you want to score some consoles, you know, we'll try and figure that out, and we'll try and facilitate that for you. But if you were just looking for cards, and unfortunately it does look like we can call it early on sports cards this morning, make sure you smash that like button for me on the way out of here before you go. There we go. Auto Gods, what's going on, man? Silent in the chat until now, but what's up, brother? Dropping links for us. That is the PlayStation link right there, you guys. That first one is the PlayStation Digital. So there we go. PlayStation Digital up on the website. King of Cards asking, what do I think is easier to pull, Kaboom or Downtown? If it's just my opinion and I just stab at it with a guess, I would probably say that Kabooms are easier to pull than Downtowns because it does seem like the Downtowns have much higher value than the Kabooms. Not trying to knock the Kabooms, but I think that Absolute is... It's obviously not a hobby product, so there's more chances out of like Don Russ to pull like a Downtown. However, I really think those hits are rare. And the Kabooms not only come with the bases, but they also come with those hits out of 10. The gold versions that are contained within the hobby boxes as well. Mansis is liked, appreciate it for me. Tommy Two Dimes says, no consoles for me. We'll hang out and talk about an Urban Meyer firing. Did that news just go down as I came on the air this morning? Because I did not. Yes, I love it. Oh, yeah, you guys, we got to talk about it. That was a quick tenure for Urban Meyer. Huge news today. Urban Meyer gone. Honestly, I didn't get a chance to spot it this morning because it happened right after I went to bed, and getting up this morning, unfortunately, just did not see the top headline. But only 13 games in, Urban Meyer fired in his first year as Jacksonville Jaguars head coach pretty quickly after the report about him kicking a former kicker on his team was released last night. Apparently, he kicked him, called him a name, something like that, from what I read. Man, Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars lasted 13 games. We'll see if Trevor Lawrence can turn it around now, but nobody on that team has been happy for playing for Urban Meyer. Got the keys handed to him after success in college at two different major schools, Florida and Ohio State, obviously beating Oregon in the national championship a few years ago. Then having to basically leave that job because of allegations of domestic abuse against one of his coaches, and then some other rumors of improprietary behavior as well. But really, it was the issue of not policing his coaches and letting D-bags continue to coach on his staff without proper either legal intervention or any intervention from him as the leader of a university program like Ohio State football. So he had to leave that, and then for some reason, Jacksonville thought that he would be the savior, but nope. 13 games in, Herb is gone. Daddy Dale asking if it's just PS5s today. I think we're seeing only PS5s and Xboxes. I'll get you the Xbox link here shortly, man. Just trying to grab that. My phone's actually being slow. Apologize, you guys. But a crazy day nonetheless. Not only are we dealing with an Urban Meyer firing, but we're dealing with a console drop. Wow, Urban Meyer gone. Of course, the Ducks still trying to recover from Mario Cristobal leaving. The Blazers losing again last night. I mean, I know y'all don't care about that, but I sure as heck do. The Portland Trail Blazers taking another loss. All right, guys, getting these links for you right now. Gonna take me a second. There we go, Auto Gods. There's the Xbox Series X link. Appreciate you, buddy. And the PS5 disc link from Auto Gods as well. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try and copy these, and we are gonna get them into the description. I don't want to leave these up in the description because I'm not like a console copying channel, but you know what? Certainly a fun time if you're trying to grab sports cards and you can't get those, but consoles come up. So yeah, why not? Let's try to help you score all those. We've got all the links now dropped, you guys, in Xbox Series X, then PS5, disc and digital version. There you go. Mr. B says, good morning. Has the PS5 link dropped? It has dropped. It dropped just before you got in here, Mr. B. We'll get you that link, though. All right, probably just easier to do it from my phone at this point, so that's what we're going to do. Crazy Thursday. And I do have upsets and locks of the week, you guys, or one upset and actually, I think 2 locks of the week. I really think that there are a couple of games on the schedule that are going to be exploitable. And who knows, now that the Urban Meyer firing has been announced, maybe the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to come out and absolutely roll over the Houston Texans. I think the Jaguars are favored by 4. Looks like they could cover that spread. Ready to play post-Urban Meyer. Matt Chapman says, when did professional athletes become so soft? Probably when they started getting so much more money than they did in like the 90s and early 2000s. When those contracts started jumping up to insanely astronomical numbers like $250 million. When A-Rod signed that contract, you guys, it was all over as far as athletes and what you want to consider an athlete being soft or not. And there are some that are still making all that money that aren't really soft. I mean, I would, in the NBA, a lot of these guys are complainers, and I guess I'm not really talking about that because that could make you be considered soft. But and I'm not just saying this because he plays for my favorite team, but Damian Lillard, for instance, I don't think he's very soft at all. Not in the slightest. All right, still trying to get these links up for you guys. Apologies. J. Robert Morris' second week in a row, I was the only person in Target when the restock arrived. Absolute retail packs, archives, heritage high numbers, and Topps update were all that was available. Oh, Chronicles fat packs as well. Dude, that stinks. Yeah, guys, we were talking about it yesterday. The lack of premium boxes available at Target in stores, now that they are actually restocking in stores again, is super frustrating. It's like, you know, you get that feeling when you find cards, and it's like super invigorating, super exciting. But then you remember, no, you know what? It's actually only, it's only the non-premium stuff that you're going to be seeing at Target. So it's like fun for a second, but that's about it. All right, guys, grabbing these links for you. Here we go. My phone's actually finally working now. And I did see a lot of people responding to the poll, guys, so let me know. Left a poll out for y'all to answer. Which release are you looking forward to most coming up for football? Is it Mosaic, is it Prism, or is it Optic? Let me know by answering that poll. I'd be interested to see exactly where people are sitting on what release they're waiting for to come out. Hey, Tate. Hey, Tate on Nintendo, bro. I got you on the Xbox link, man. I'm telling you guys, I'm trying to get these links. So, Odell ain't a softie, says William Gray. Talking about Odell Beckham? All right, guys. The digital should be down in the description. Matt says, I mean, they cry and complain about a coach yelling at them. If we sucked at our jobs, you'd expect to hear from your boss. Yes, I agree, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of in the camp that just relentlessly yelling at guys, the coaches that just do that for no reason, you're not really going to get anywhere. If you have a reason to yell at somebody, do it. But then there's the other end, you know, those coaches that just are complete hard asses that I don't really think are good for the game either. But yeah, the players that can't take, you know, a chewing out from their head coach, I do agree. That's kind of an issue. But not only that, but it goes along with what we were just talking about with, like, complaining to the referees, never thinking that you commit a foul, always thinking that you were fouled, for instance, in the NBA. It's super annoying, super frustrating. Guys like Chris Paul, LeBron James, James Harden, even Damian Lillard falls into that. It's very frustrating. It's like, oh, I never commit a foul. Like, yes, you do. Yes, you do, buddy. We all do. All right, guys, so make sure you refresh the chat, or the live stream, or whatever I should call it. We've got an Xbox link coming your way right now. All right, refresh that, an Xbox link in there, all good. Seth says, I'm an HR, or I'm a supervisor, and if I yelled at someone here in the real world, HR would be all over me, and rightfully so. See, that's the thing, and, you know, there's understanding about, like, frustrations and, like, certain situations, like, in the workplace where we're all under a lot of pressure, and things can get heated sometimes, and that's okay, but, yeah, when these guys are just yelling at their players like that, it just doesn't make sense, and it also doesn't make sense why in the real world that isn't acceptable, but, like, in the world of sports, that supposedly is. It's just different. Definitely a different vibe. All right, just the PS5, not the digital one, but the disc version. I need to have a link for that down below, and then y'all should hopefully be able to grab those once they get going. Thank you so much again to AutoGods for dropping all those links. Much appreciated, T-Buddy. Walt Jones says NBA players are deaf soft. They only play every other game. That was actually something we were talking about pretty recently here on the morning stream. Resting players and guys like Greg Popovich of the San Antonio Spurs that kind of led that charge. And how I don't necessarily mind every once in a while if you need to rest a guy, or maybe if you're going towards the end of the season in the playoffs, you rest a guy or two. But like when you're talking game 30, 40, or 50, or 60, and it's load management, man, no way. That should not be happening, and I can't stand it when it does. That's just me, though. Once again, some other people coming on saying, like, you're crazy, Jordan. Guys need to rest like that. The NBA wouldn't be what it is if guys didn't rest like that. An 82-game season is hard. You're going to lose your stars to injury if you don't rest them. Yada, 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 yada. I don't know about all that. All right, guys, this PS5 disc link should now be up for you all as well. All right, down below the sports card links, guys, make sure you refresh the live stream, but we now officially should have all those console links for y'all to grab. And yes, thank you once again to AutoGods. I saw somebody talking about a 1-of-1 Mac Jones. Was that actually pulled by somebody in the chat? Congratulations, man. Congratulations indeed. Charlie Bell making a very great point. You can't have a team if you're constantly pointing out and telling the whole team how much they suck and how they have never been winners, but he is. Oh, you're talking about Urban Meyer and the Jacksonville Jaguars? Yeah, guys, the reports that came out last week, this was, I mean, it seemed like reports were just going to be coming out from Jacksonville and continue to be leaked until Urban Meyer was fired, but this week it was like the report of him kicking the kicker that was on the roster earlier this year, and then last week it was him calling his assistant coaches idiots. I mean, there were so many things that continued to come out, and it was like, oh, buddy, I cannot believe they're still sticking with him. And they just could not make it to this Sunday with him as their head coach. It was just too hot. Talking about the hot zone that we were in for sports cards. Well, the hot seat that Urban Meyer was on only, 3, 4, 5 games into his tenure at Jacksonville? Another failed college head football coach in the NFL. And just because Nick Saban's super successful at Alabama doesn't mean he's still not a jerk, because he absolutely is. And when you're a jerk of a person but successful professionally, I'm sorry, I still find you a failure as a human being, because professional success is not the end-all be-all. You've got to be a good person. And Nick Saban doesn't care about being a good person. Urban Meyer doesn't care about being a good person. I know you don't want athletes on your teams that are great people. You want them to win games. I understand that. However, there is a measure of integrity that has to be preached to these guys. Come on. And a guy like Urban Meyer has no integrity, and it starts from the top down. Scott says, we're allowed to take days off work. Why can't athletes? Well, because, Scott, here's a great comparison for you, man. You're talking about an athlete taking a day off of work. The game days aren't the only days at work for them. I mean, you've got practices, you've got other commitments, you've got training camps, and their schedules outside of like the 82 NBA season, you know, I mean, it's obviously more like a teacher's schedule where they've got time off during the year. So you're telling me that during their season that they're playing for 8-9 months out of the year, that they need to take time off when they actually have 3 months after that where they just get to fully recruit? No, some of those guys go play Olympic basketball. Some guys go do other things. Some guys, you know, go take part in other projects. But And that's on them, but being an NBA player, as far as what you're getting paid and what the organization has invested in you, is not comparable to the everyday worker getting 4 weeks of vacation. It's just not. Urban will go back to the Gators, says Mansa Chill. I mean, who knows, guys? Those Florida schools have been, you go Florida, Florida State, and Miami. Those have been pretty tumultuous coach-wise the last few years. And I know that for a fact because my Oregon Ducks have personally sent 2 coaches to fill 2 of those teams, one of which already fired him in Willie Taggart. Arlie says, have I ever played sports? Oh, yeah, dude, nothing. Okay, hold on. So are you saying that just because I haven't played sports, like professionally, that means that I don't have the ability to say whether or not a player should be playing a full 82-game season? And first of all, why now is this just a debate as far as like playing a full season compared to back in, we're talking about the 90s and 2000s when, let's just take the NBA game, for example, you guys. The NBA game is a lot easier now. It's not as physical. So you're telling me that these guys now need more rest than they did in like the 90s and early 2000s? Come on. That's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Some colleges won't care about character and more about winning, says Ivan Luca. Yes, thinking of colleges like for basketball, North Carolina. What was the report? Their head coach, Roy Williams, was basically helping lead an entire an effort, basically that had, it was a pseudo class program for some of these guys to get like an easy A on the roster, and it was limited to writing 1 paper essentially for the entire year and not even showing up to like this class that was designated during a certain time on their schedule, but they didn't really actually go to class. So basically, there are schools out there that will just create easy classes for guys to get A's in, skirt the rules, that kind of thing. But then there are guys, like you heard, Oregon's new head football coach, Dan Lanning, is extremely set on not only coaching football, but instilling values in these guys. That's huge, and that's what college is for. Braun says, dude, sports science has advanced. Eric Zahn says, that's such a cop-out argument, talking about my argument, or talking about somebody else's. That if you haven't played sports, you can't talk about them. Rip It Up says, oh no, Schultzy's about to explode. Frank Young asking, who is the Oregon coach? So he is the, he was now the former Georgia Bulldogs defensive coordinator, a guy named Dan Lanning, 35 years old. Did the Switch OLED drops, as Keviar Collectibles? Have not seen any Switch OLEDs drops, you guys, unfortunately. And as we hang out this morning, doesn't look like we're going to see sports cards dropping, possibly like some consoles or something like that. But as we wait for the consoles to drop or just continue to hang out, I wanted to let you know about the sponsor of today's stream, Otis. As most of y'all know, the price of all kinds of sports cards and other collectibles has been going absolutely nuts the past year. Base rookies are easy to get, but you're looking at spending a ton, we talk about it every day, a ton of money trying to get like a LaMelo Ball auto rookie parallel or a Justin Herbert auto rookie parallel. There are so many of us out there who would love to invest in some of these cards, but simply cannot afford those exorbitant prices. That's where our sponsor, Otis, comes in. Otis is an investment platform where almost anyone can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, comics, graded games, and most importantly, rare sports cards. To get started, all you have to do is download their app and sign up for free using the link in the description. They've got over 100 rare collectibles to choose from, including some of the rarest graded games, comics, contemporary art, and of course, sports cards. One of my favorite assets on the platform, you guys, is an entire set of the 86 Fleer basketball iconic 132 cards, complete set, all in PSA 10s. And Michael Jordan, a bunch of other iconic players, all pristine 10s. They look great. The set's worth over $400,000, and I gotta tell you, you should definitely go check it out. Here's how it works. You can earn a potential return either by selling your shares to other Otis members on the Otis platform, or if Otis sells one of the underlying assets you invested in for more than the price you paid. So whether you're looking to get in or just check stuff out, I recommend you check Otis out because it's a great way for new investors. It's a great way for people that have been in the hobby for years. to get in and check something new out to the game. It's fun, and I think it's a great way that cards are headed, and I think it's the future of sports card trading personally. So make sure you use the link in my description. You'll get your first share free. Terms apply. UNC Fester says players only play 2 or 3 hours a night. They don't need nights off. Jose says throw the chocolate milk at him. T-Dub says it's all about analytics, bro. Look at Luka and his ex-coach's analytics guy who rubbed Luka the wrong way. The league is physical, says Jeff. The only thing changed was that the paint back to the basket play is pretty much done since it's not as efficient. And Ryan asking if cards ever drop on Friday or nothing this week. I've not seen cards ever drop on a Friday since we did that regular restock of it was Fridays through, I think, June. That Target.com was kind of just leaving as the regular day. Since then, unfortunately, we have not seen any of those Friday restocks, and that has been months since that last happened. Chris and Danny Novak says nothing was ever put on Roy Williams during the UNC investigation, even though he could hold K's jock. Oh, talking about Krzyzewski. I mean, his name was brought up. And, of course, he denied all allegations, and he denied not knowing about it, but he knew about it. Jigglypuff says, Zach Wilson on the Jets is in a better situation than the Jags with Trevor Lawrence. The Jets have 4 picks in the first 2 rounds. They've got a left tackle back and have been playing tons of young players. That's a good take, man. I think that there is definitely a reason to be excited about Zach Wilson. Seems to have more around him than the Jacksonville Jaguars did. I mean, the fact that Urban Meyer, you guys, I'm sorry. Tim Tebow, getting another spot in training camp as a tight end tryout, I mean, and then, of course, the media flocking to it. Why do we care about a player that's not going to make the roster? Why are we here taking pictures of this guy when we know he's not going to be on the Jags roster? Why did Urban Meyer even give him a chance? Just because you're a great athlete does not mean you're going to be a great specific position player in the NFL. I'm sorry. So the fact, I thought that it was over from him giving Tim Tebow a shot in training camp. That was just me. It's dude, you don't care about football. You care about press. You care about the media, what they're saying about you, and you care about everything on the outside and all the wrong things. Oh, no way. S. Serrano 49, dude. Super, super generous of you. A $9.99 super chat. Oh, my goodness, brothers. Just got my absolute hangers yesterday. Pulled a Justin Fields kaboom from the first box. That is sick. What is that, a $200-$300 hit? Congratulations, man. Thanks for helping everyone get cards every single week. You are so welcome. That's what I love to hear. I love those kinds of stories. Pulling a $200-$300 card out of a $20 box. Well, I guess, was it the hangers, so it is a $20 box. There we go. $15-$20 for each, and you're hitting pay dirt on that one, Serrano. Congrats, buddy. Scott Tolliver says, I was at Best Buy last night. They had a ton of NFL Prism Draft Picks Megas. I didn't buy, but FYI for anybody. Well, guys, sounds like Best Buy, not only online, but it is now a place to check in-store for sports cards. So we were talking yesterday about some of these stores that you can find cards at now, like Cracker Barrel, like Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, all those other stores other than Walmart and other than Target, and the stores that we really do have to check now on the regular because they are getting restocks on the regular, just like all those other Targets and Walmarts were a few months ago. Oh, and Hobby Lobby as well. Can't forget about Hobby Lobby. Hollen Weaver, to the $9.99 super chat. Super generous again today. Says, Christmas Schultz, thanks for everything you do. It's appreciated. Happy holidays. Yes, dude. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Whichever y'all celebrate. Or if you don't celebrate, I appreciate you anyways. Kaboom Base has print lines shaking my head. Oh, that's crazy. Bill says, are you sure the PS5 links are correct? They look the same. Well, why don't you click on one and tell me if they're correct or not? They should be. I'll go click on them myself, but usually with the PS5s, there are 2 different links with the disc and digital. Hoping I didn't screw that up. Check that really quick. PlayStation 5 console. And that's at $4.99. The first one should be the digital one at $3.99. Nope, they are the same ones. I don't know how that happened. All right, guys, I'll fix that. My bad. How did that happen? AutoGods gave me the DigiLink, and I put that up first. Yeah, I'll fix that, you guys. My apologies. Anyone who goes to the Jets is doomed. Well, what's that old Artie Lang joke that he told about the Jets? He said he had a conversation with his uncle growing up. Like, my uncle always told me that it was something about, like, having a tough choice rooting for the Jets and then being into girls. Oh, no. It was like, when I was younger, I was into the Jets. Then I got into the girls. But then I got back into the Jets. Because girls sometimes won't F you, but the Jets will always F you. That was the joke. So, pretty hilarious, in my opinion. Joe says there's no PSA 10 Kabooms this year due to print lines on the top of every card. That sucks, man. Kabooms, I have heard that there have been print lines on some, but not all. All Kabooms have had print lines? That's crazy. AutoGod says they're live. Let's go, guys. Let's go on the console restocks. If y'all want a console this morning, your disc version is live. AutoGod's on top of it, guys. So go grab those disc versions. Good luck. There we go. John Johnson saying the PS5 disc is live. So good luck to all of you trying to score those. Let's go. We got discs up, and I'm assuming we'll have some digitals up here soon as well. Joe says, no, they're on every card, Schultzy. Okay, my bad. My bad, guys. That sucks. That sucks. Not a fun hit to pull if every single version has print lines. And of course, going along with Panini, just trying to grab that money before they get out of the hobby in 2025 again. I haven't listened to the full interview that Sports Card Investors did with that same executive from Panini, but I think his name is Tracy Hackler, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm not making that up. But it would have been nice if Sports Card Investors asked him like about the print lines on all these cards and about like quality control. Something that we have all been wondering about, because you understand not every single card is going to come looking like a PSA 10 in the pack. You know, they get shoved together, packs get mailed, things happen, boxes get dented. There are some inconsistencies off the print line. You get that. However, a line in every single version of every single Kaboom, it just really sucks. And then what do? Do they call PSA at that point and tell them, or like send a memorandum to all these grading companies saying, hey, all of these cards, does not matter which version it is of the base, they all have print lines in them? Or do they just not care? Or does PSA go on thinking that every single Kaboom they get has a print line and it's never going to be perfect? Dal76 says, you look like the coach of the Knicks, Schultz. You talking about Tom Thibodeau? I look like good old balding Tom Thibodeau. That's great, man. I've never been compared to Tom Thibodeau. So yeah, guys, go on those PS5 disc versions. Good luck to y'all. There's a Fields PSA 10 on eBay right now. See, I wonder if that actually has a print line in it or not. Talking about a Fields PSA 10 Kaboom, I'm assuming. Guyver Cage says, all of the Kabooms got printed with a line, even the gold ones. And the gold ones we were just mentioning, guys, out of 10. That's insane. Would love to hear about quality control from Panini and how that continues to happen. How an entire release of one hit in a particular set all has print lines. They literally did not want to take the time or money to reprint those. And how cheap is it to print those cards in the first place? Probably not that expensive. Charlie Bell says, Schultz, are you going to do other sponsors? Would you do a CBD company? It's sports card related. You know, I would be open to hearing other offers from other sponsors. Absolutely. I mean, I would love to support any product that I feel very strongly about. And hey, I mean, CBD, it helps with pain management for a lot of people. And it is definitely sports related because a lot more players are using CBD to manage their pain as well. Yeah, man, I would do a CBD company. If you got somebody that wants me to sponsor their company, hit me up, man. SchultzysCardPulls@gmail.com. I'll give them a shout out. Every single sponsor or every single live stream, I'll give them a sponsored read. All that kind of stuff. Panini just trying to cash in before they lose the licenses, says Scott. You're not wrong, buddy. You are not wrong. And yes, it does look like, guys, as far as PlayStations and Xboxes go, on Target.com, they are always in-store pickups only. With Walmart, you usually get those shipped. But when the disc versions went live a bit ago, it was for in-store pickup only. Charlie Bell says, send me your contact info. I appreciate it, buddy. Here, I'll put my email in the chat right now. Make it easy for you. Schultzy's card pulls at gmail.com. Jeff says, I think it's because Panini has been trouble getting card materials. That's why basketball was pushed back a couple of months, too. And see, that does make sense, guys. As far as the materials go, the shortage on pretty much everything right now is actually just talking about my father-in-law with this. So many things, not just like the actual items themselves that are already finished products, but the supplies for these items are just sitting either on a cargo ship somewhere, sitting in a port, or are still in their host country because it is so tough to move product right now. The infrastructure is messed. Daniel says there were some PSA 10 kabooms. All right, hoping those didn't have print lines. Oh, no, there we go. So, yes, Guyver Cage says Kaboom Field does have a print line, but got a PSA 10. So it does sound like what I was asking about Panini doing as far as, like, sending a memorandum to maybe some of these grading companies. I would assume they did. If Panini is grading a card like that with a print line as a PSA 10, it is very hard, you guys, to get a PSA 10 on a card with a print line. But if they know that there's nothing better, then yes, that card has that much more potential to get a PSA 10, if that makes sense. Because you go in grading, if there's nothing available better than that, and it's a brand new card that's just been released, you're going to be more willing to give that a 10. If you have a lot of these older cards, like the older Mickey Mantles, you know, the older Ted Williams that are more iconic, even like something slightly newer, like an 89 Griffey rookie upper deck, any imperfection in those is going to keep them from a 10. But with the issues in printing and the shortages of supplies right now, it does sound like PSA is being a little more lenient, which I think is a good thing. I think that's a good thing. How much is a Tom Brady 21 Kaboom in his Pats uniform? It's a great question. My Bryce Harper Kaboom has a line too, shaking my head. That sucks, man. James says, PS5 cart robbed. I'm so sorry about that. Jesse, sorry about that, Jesse. It's always a horrible feeling when that happens. Get it in your cart, and then it gets taken right away. Joe asking what is in 2025. Well, Joe, we have got Panini and Topps exiting the sports card market in 2025. Fanatics bought all the rights to Major League Baseball, the NBA, and the NFL Players Association and trading card rights. So they, starting in 2025, are going to be printing the trading cards themselves, selling everything probably through their website. We haven't heard much yet, although I know we've started to hear a little bit from some of these executives, so hopefully we're going to maybe get a little bit of a roadmap or a blueprint to a plan and what the hobby's going to look like post-2025, but we haven't seen it yet. But Topps and Panini will no longer own the rights to print cards for those players' associations in those leagues past 2025. So that's what's going on. Brian says, this is a BS no drop. Target is acting like Walmart's now. I'm going to go get ready for work. For sure, Brian. I understand, man. I apologize, dude. Darian says he got a PS5. That's awesome. Doug says, keep clicking cart. Just keep clicking. Keep clicking, guys. The Incredible Bulks is still available in Minnesota. Yeah, that's the thing, guys. If it's all online pickups, then unfortunately, you're going to be limited to getting a PS5 if there happens to be a lot in stores near you. If there aren't, then your chances of getting one are slimmer. And obviously, people are botting, and you're going to be fighting them getting PS5s as well because they are still able to be resold for a profit. AMPX says, I think it took a little time to get through to PSA, that there's a line on them all or the majority. I heard from others that this should be passed through because it's common on the card. See, that's what I was thinking. And if PSA does see or hear from Panini or Topps, like on a certain card, like, hey guys, we screwed up. This card isn't looking great. Then they will be more inclined to grade a card with that mistake as a 10. Joe asking what Fanatics is. You're not aware of Fanatics, man? They're like the biggest sports apparel company out there right now. They sell all the sports apparel and sports memorabilia for all the major leagues in North America. They've got team shops, fan shops, that entire infrastructure all set up online, owned by them. That is what Fanatics is. Drew Drews has got one on the first day. Congrats, man. PNW says Topps isn't perfect, but they're way better than Panini. Hope they get bought out for all their sports. I agree, PNW. Topps is better than Panini. They're faster on their redemptions. Their website is a little bit easier to navigate. But I would say customer service for both companies is pretty bad. And the length of time that you have to wait for shipping after buying a product directly from Topps or Panini is equally bad. Jeremy says everyone's best bet for sports cards is at Meijer Saturday, 6 a.m. Yeah, unfortunately, not everybody has Meijer. Meijer is limited to, the Midwest? Certain states in the country. If you go to, the eastern or western seaboards, you are not seeing any Meijers. All right, guys, 3 minutes left in what is normally the sports card hot zone. However, we are looking at a console restock this morning and not a sports card restock. So I know it's been a wacky one. I know some people trying to grab some consoles, and I appreciate people sticking around, hoping to grab those. We have the links down below. Oh, yeah, I got to fix that digital link, guys. My apologies. I use the app for PS5, says Darian Williams. There you go, buddy. Aiden asking what consoles have dropped. Just PS5 discs has dropped. Digitals and Xbox X's are still in stock as of right now. Meijers is way overpriced. Doug says go to Meijer at 6 a.m. and there are 5 megas. It's a bummer. And Sky B's buying all 5 of them, right? Sorry. I'm just starting to openly take shots at that dude. It's ridiculous, man. Sick of seeing people buying up all the sports cards and then being like, well, you do that too. No, you would. No, I wouldn't. I haven't. So go screw yourself. Guyver Cage says Meijer is backdoor. And I'm making a joke about that. I know Meijers have limits, but man, these people that have the opportunity to buy up all these boxes when they see them and then do, just stop. If you're going to buy up all those boxes, then you better be giving a couple of those away, man. Frank Young asking if I opened any Allen and Ginter Chrome. I have not. I don't really like Allen and Ginter very much. It's not my cup of tea. I'm not really sure why Allen and Ginter is a thing. Is Allen and Ginter just like a specific set of artists that made like baseball cards that happened to be popular one year a long time ago, and then they just kept reprinting that? Because I do not know why Allen and Ginter is a thing. If y'all like it, please explain it to me. I don't understand the random cards in there. I don't understand the hits that have nothing to do with baseball. Just help me out there. Help me out there. Wow, Meijer selling optic cellos for $28 each. That is highway robbery. That is like a flipper price. Although what they're doing, it sounds like Meijer anyways, is they're going online, seeing what flippers are charging for the certain boxes they have in stock, and then they're going and putting those boxes up for those specific prices. Doug says Sky and the Prism Megas. I feel you, LOL. Yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a Walgreens near him that had, or maybe 2 of them, that had 17 Prism Basketball Megas, and he bought them all. He bought all 17. Is he giving them away on the channel? No. He said a couple were for his buddy, but he's either sitting on the rest or he's sold the rest for profit. And his only response to that is, well, y'all would do the same thing too. God, the dog S sandwich argument. The dog S sandwich. So if everyone else was eating a dog S sandwich, you'd eat one too. If everyone else was jumping off of a bridge, you would too. Like, did your parents not teach you anything? Nothing? Like, God, when you say that as an adult, well, everyone else is doing it, you just sound like a total uneducated lug. Sorry, but you are. Thank you. Brian Franklin says Allen & Ginter is just like the modern day set of tobacco cards. See, now, somebody just telling me that, now I understand why they're so sought after, and it clicks why You really, really want to rip those cards. Okay, makes sense. That's all I need. If somebody presents the facts to me, I am willing to hear, and I'm willing to listen. iClaw Machine says, Schultzy, how have the Walmarts been in Massachusetts? Okay, the stores haven't really been flush with stuff, although I obviously don't really know when anything restocks, so I did not get lucky looking at any of the local stores around me. Illusions basketball on Walmart right now, says Flavavision. Yeah, that's been up on Walmart for a couple of days, you guys. But if you did want any Illusions basketball, go check Walmart. It is available there. D's Rips 5280 says PS5 is out of stock. So unfortunately, it looks like the disc versions are out of stock. Digital is going to be hopefully soon, but we have not seen that in stock yet. Just confirming. Nick Wags86 says, he made money, who cares? I guess I'm a total uneducated lug. Nicky, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Do you not understand your problem with affecting the hobby and just saying like, well, I made money in the short term? It is not going to keep the hobby alive long term. Do you understand that? Obviously, there are the section of people like you that just don't care, and I understand that. And as long as you can admit, like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just trying to make money short term. But the people that are in there saying, like, you know what, I care about the hobby, but then they're still trying to make that money. Like, I understand, I've said this many times. If you want to buy some boxes to rip, and then you don't want to sell, like, 2 of those to flip to try and pay for the rip, I get it. But when you're buying up the entire stock on a shelf just to sell it and just to flip it, it is ridiculous. And it is so hard to continue to have sustained love for a hobby like this if nobody has access to it. Oh, Blades Cards, appreciate it, says Schultzy. Mass restock is usually Thursday, Friday in most places. I mean, so maybe I could get lucky today, but I am on my way out of town, and I've got some things to do before we leave, so. Unfortunately, I'm not sure that I'm going to have time to go hunting today. Maybe. Blades Cards says, yeah, the Schultzy Mass restock usually Thursdays, Fridays. I appreciate that. Charlie says, good for him. I'll buy them all too. Flip up and make money. Well, Charlie, dude, you're ruining the hobby, and we're not going to be able to do this for longer. Do you understand that you're literally cutting the legs off of something that people care about? No, you don't give a crap. You don't. What you want to do, you want to take all the short-term profit that you can out of something, suck it dry like a sponge, and then leave the remnants for the rest. That's what people like you do, dude, and it sucks. It's not okay. It's just not. Flipper's excuse word. If I don't get it, someone else will. Exactly. No, it's just ridiculous. It's not, that's not a legitimate argument or a legitimate excuse. No, all of you guys are idiots. Only Hit says, I grab the good stuff and leave baseball. Well, if you grab all the good stuff, man, like, come on. Come on. Junk wax era anyway, care about the hobby, LOL. Yeah, see, Charlie, you're not really throwing out very many educated arguments, my friend. If we want to try and keep the hobby sustainable through rumors of a junk wax era, then people like you shouldn't be reselling all the cards. Scott Tolliver says, I can no longer watch the show Flipper with the Dolphin thanks to those flippers with sports cards. It definitely sucks to see that. And it's frustrating when you see like local card shops turning into flippers as well. It's the reason why I went out and made that video, says stay away from local card shops like this, charging exorbitant prices. And it's why I say to people that access to the hobby is the most important thing for sustainability. Bowie Bucket says, honestly, you could make more money opening and selling singles. You know, Bowie, like 3 or 4 months ago, I thought that was true, but the singles market has just hit the floor in the last couple of months. So that was true through the summer. Matt Chapman says, it's a hobby killer. I personally refuse to pay the flippers 5 to 6 times the price. Most people should tell them to kick rocks. Julian makes a great point, though, also. The idiots are the people paying those prices. I don't disagree with you, man. When you are the one paying the huge flipped prices, you, unfortunately, are an idiot. It's not... And I try my best to educate those people. Some of them, and I wouldn't necessarily call all of them idiots, some of those guys, they just don't know what they're doing because they're just getting into the hobby. They aren't sure how many cards are supposed... or how much cards are supposed to cost and how many... are supposed to be in a certain box and what the average kind of rate, per card is. Irish Native says, I collect baseball, and most of my basketball and football are older cards. F the flippers. I love it, Irish Native. Loot Box Hero says, you'll never know when you'll be able to grab it again. You may as well get everything. No, and that's the one thing, guys, I'm not calling everybody out. I hate the flippers. But the people, the true hobby collectors, you know, that have that FOMO, and they see, like, I get that feeling when I see boxes on the shelves for the first time in, like, 2 or 3 weeks. It's like, oh, I want to grab all these, but I don't. I leave a couple for everybody. Loot Box Hero says, if I don't get it, somebody else will, is absolutely a valid argument. No, it's not. Because if everybody stopped doing that, then we wouldn't have to deal with this. And if the stores actually imposed limits on people, then we wouldn't have to do this. I cannot believe there are still stores like it's the Wild Wild West out there that are just selling every single pack or box of sports cards they've got to one person. Oh, Auto God saying the digital PS5 is live, everybody. Silver Sports says you can make more money by getting a job. It's true. It's true. Braun says, you don't even get 2 times, so I don't know what's going on. Talking about, like, the resale of boxes now, it's so true. It was 5 to 6 times plus before for, like, a blaster box. A $20 box was selling for over $100. Now, you're looking at a $20 to $30 box selling for maybe $35 to $50 at the max. Who knows? Mosaic might change that. Prism Football might make a difference in that, but I'm not sure. Looking, guys, so we have seen PS5 digitals in stock, but unfortunately, doesn't look like there's many near my area. I'm not really even trying to cop a PS5 this morning, so good luck to all of you that are trying to grab them. I really hope people can. Got one, so I don't need them. But anybody else that is trying to grab one, good luck. Digi Dunn says Braun Jameson. All right, guys, so it looks like the PS5's digital and disc are all gone. If Target doesn't get their act together, then we'll get stuck with flipper prices, says Scott. That's not wrong, man. That's not wrong. In most major metro areas, there are limits, says Loot Box Heroes. That's true. That only happens in the middle of nowhere. And Lootbox says, I have a full-time job, doesn't stop me from going out and beating everybody in the aisles. Good for you, man. And Lootbox, I think you're just lucky as well because you have a full-time job and you happen to have a restocker around you. And I think you would admit this as well. If they showed up while you were at work, you would not even have close to the luck that you do now. But because of your schedule, because of the area that you're located in, it works out for you because they come around either during your lunch hour or they come around during the days or the times of day where you aren't at work. Just correct me if I'm wrong there, Loot, but that does seem to be, if you are able to do that and have a full-time job, usually the restocks happen during your off hours. Is that true? I'm in New York. I have to compete with 20 people to get boxes. I'm not surprised, man. That's most of the time, that's the same thing back in Oregon for me as well. Irish Native says, much love, brother. Have a safe trip back home. Thank you so much, you guys. The Incredible Bulk says, how about not buying at flipper prices? It's true. Scott says, crap, I'm turning around. Taylor asking a great question. Can I buy digital and disc, or will the Target order get canceled? I believe, Taylor, that you can order one of each console. I've had people that I know do that before, and they will not get canceled. However, if you buy two of the same console, then yes, they will get canceled. Yamiya says it's a free-for-all at Walmart's here. So in the Atlanta area, which most major metros, they're saying, most major metro areas, they're saying, okay, they have these limits, but apparently some places like Atlanta don't, and I do see in the rural areas where they don't have those limits. That is pretty common. Lootbox Hero says it's a game. I leave work frequently to get cards. And that's awesome that you have the job that gives you the ability to leave work, because that's the thing. Not everybody has the ability to leave work like that and get cards. But normally, yeah, it's first thing in the morning. So yeah, Lootbox, you're just hitting it on the way to work. Good for you, man. See, you know the schedule. You're willing to put in the time. Props to you, man. I'm not mad at you at all for that. Not mad at you whatsoever. A Lootbox says, people are mad they don't put in the effort to get the product that is highly desirable. I don't know, at Lootbox, but what I'm saying is some people have the jobs early in the morning, man, so they can't be out waiting at the same time as you. All those people that are waiting have the ability to wait and have the time to do so, and it works with their schedules. Danny says, why do you cheer the people on the channel that buy product up online? Some guy yesterday told you about 15 Blue Optic sets, and you cheered? Well, yeah, because he got optic sets, man. Those were available forever. Were those optic sets not up for, like, a day? I mean, shoot, I would have gone... I'm mad that I didn't go back and buy, like, the Donruss sets over and over and over again. Guys, they were up. I mean, he got 15 sets because they were up for a long time. With the Donruss sets, that's a little bit different, you guys. Ooh, Dunk Cards, great. Word letting me know. Hey, Schultzy, let people know. David Adams, DAC Card World having a huge sale right now. Check it out after you're live. I will, man. Guys, go check it out. It sounds like DA Card World or DAC Card World offering some really good sale prices on some stuff I know we've been seeing. And check online, you guys. We've been seeing some really good deals, Black Friday and beyond, for hobby boxes of sports cards through the holidays, different kinds of retail versions, especially megas. I've seen megas discounted on websites a lot also. AMPX, I don't think they have restocked Xboxes yet. Bowie Buckets says, that new Flux baseball looks good. Hobby boxes for sale on Panini's site, and it's a bit cheaper than StockX. There you go, guys. If you're wanting to look at some basketball cards. He's going to be stuck with those 15 sets, this Pole Monster. I'm thinking if he's talking about the blue optic sets, I don't think he means blue optic. I think he means the blue Donruss football, which actually he's not going to be stuck with those sets, even though the values of those gold quarterbacks have gone down a little bit. I'm pretty sure he could still sell those sets for $150, $175 sealed. So, I don't know. Scott Tolliver says, personally not a fan of Flux basketball. Arlie says, so if they're sold out same day, would you have a different opinion? Absolutely. If they sold out in like 5 seconds, yeah, then it's obviously a botter that's got 3 or 4 different target counts. But when there's something on the shelf and it's just been sitting there, I mean, it's like a local Walgreens near me that I had found 6 mystery boxes, 6 baseball mystery boxes that had apparently been on the shelf for over a month, according to what this Walgreens associate had told me. There was a Prestige football blaster and then like a couple of Score football random packs and some baseball. And she said, every single one of these has been here for over a month. I will sell you all of them if you'd like. And I said, all right, I don't want to buy all of them. All right, guys, Xboxes are live. Go on the Xboxes. Go on those Xboxes. Thank you, AutoGods. Xbox live, brother. Xbox X is live. Everybody go on those Xboxes. Good luck. But yeah, if it's just available for a long time, then everybody else at that point had a chance to get it. So if they were sitting up there all day and everybody else had a chance to get it, and he ended up making the right decision and buying 15 when they were that available, dude, good for him. I have no issues with that. I hope that makes sense. Jonathan says, it's always tempting to buy all the stuff on several occasions, but I've shared the wealth. We used to have this guy that would camp at Meijer on Friday night. He had his wife and 2 kids. Like, they would all camp at Meijer. That was their regular Friday night thing. That's disgusting. My wife would divorce me so quickly if that's what I was trying to make her do. Man, it's Roast Urban Day on ESPN, LMAO, says Charlie Bell. Heck yeah, I think after I get off the live stream today, I'm going to be looking for some great Urban Meyer entertainment and some deals on DAC Card World at the same time. That is fantastic. Lootbox Hero says, simple supply and demand. I don't know, Lootbox, it goes beyond the supply and demand, brother. It's hoarding and price gouging because there are boxes available, and when the people that decide to buy up, and I'm not talking about you, Lootbox, or I guess you're talking about supply and demand with the Blue Donruss sets, because that is what it is, supply and demand. When they're available like that, it's a supply and demand thing, and people didn't really realize the demand was there until the supply had been up there for 2-3 days, or a day, or however long you want to say it was. So no, you're right, Lootbox. Sorry, I thought you were talking about something else, man. AMPX saying, I'm creating the supply issue like me? I don't think so. Wish I was creating the supply issue. If I were creating the supply issue, then I'd have boxes to give you all every single week. It'd be awesome. Joe says, I can buy an Xbox Series X. Are they worth it? I think I mean, if you don't want one, I think they're still reselling for a bit if you're interested in that. But the PS5s are all out of stock, and the Xboxes are available right now. Hello, Box Heroes. It says, then a month later, everyone wants it. Exactly. No, that's exactly how it goes. Danny says, yeah, blue football. Sorry. No, you're good, Danny. I knew what you were talking about, man. Unfortunately, the only optic basketball set that was kind of blue, I think it was like the Fanatics, or not the Fanatics exclusive, the Panini website exclusive. Like, there were only 250 boxes, and that was just like the regular green-blue color. Yeah, loot boxes. So who's the fool for not buying any when they dropped? This guy. Yeah, dude, I bought one. I bought one box, and I'm like, why didn't I buy 3? I could have bought more, and I didn't. And they were still up all day. Did I go up and I buy more? No. I told other people to go buy more. Pack Junkie says, Schultzy, what are your thoughts on Zenith football? Assuming that is a new set from Panini, I'll be blunt with you, man. I haven't even heard about Zenith football. Zenith football, a brand new, 2020 Zenith. I'm not really sure what to think about it. It looks like a decent line of cards, but it's almost brand new, right? And is Zenith, is it the same? Like, I know that there's a shoulder pad company named Zenith. I've heard of them before. But are we talking about like a whole different like a release set, just using that name, or is it related to that? Weird. Luke is asking if they're dropping a PlayStation today. They actually already have. I'm sorry, brother, but they've already dropped PS5 discs and digitals. Looks like the Xboxes are live right now. Danny said, you celebrate people scoring on your channel all the time. You should encourage only buying one box because it's about the kids. Well, Danny, it's not just about the kids, man. It's about everybody, okay? That's another misnomer that I don't like. And hear me out on this, you guys. I'm the guy that necessarily doesn't always think you should just give, like, at a Major League Baseball game, when, like, a ball girl has a baseball or a foul ball. What do they always do? They always give it to the kids, right? Why? So that, like, enhances their lives and makes them come back to a game or gives them a memory that they'll never forget. Well, I guarantee you that some of those guys out there, and you're probably right, you're all going to be like, well, that's sad if you really need this, but I guarantee you that all those dudes out there that are struggling in their lives, that are maybe, having trouble paying their bills or whatever's going on, need a little pick-me-up, have never gotten a ball at a Major League Baseball game before, and that ball given to them would mean more to their lives in that moment than it ever would mean to that little kid. So, yes, the hobby is for the kids, but it is not specifically based on only for the kids, okay? There's products for everybody. There's all kinds of stuff that they can open, and there are all kinds of things that they can get in to the hobby with. At that point, as a kid, you don't even know the whole difference between like a prestigious Prism release and a not so prestigious playoff release, or, something on the very bottom like Topps Big League Baseball, for instance. No limits at my Walmarts in South Florida, says Javier. I don't even bother checking anymore. See, that sucks. Danny says it's not really about the kids. They just say that. That's the thing. It's like, thank you. Yeah, what kid is buying National Treasures, says Lootbox Heroes. Thank you. Kids are a cover for 80% of adults, says Lootbox Heroes. It's true, you guys. I don't deny that. I agree. All people do with their kids is bring them to Targets and Walmarts to get more boxes at one location. That's it. All right, guys, winding down this morning, Unfortunately, no sports card drop, but we have seen consoles drop. Sounded like some people are scoring some Xboxes and a couple of PS5s. Happy about that. But as we wind down, just another quick word from our sponsor, Otis. As I mentioned earlier, Otis is an investment platform where you can buy and sell shares of rare collectibles, comics, graded games, and most importantly, rare sports cards. They've got over 100 collectibles to choose from right now, and 3 of my personal favorites. One, a LeBron James Beckett Pristine 10 Signatures Rookie Auto. It is absolutely beautiful. I know we wish we could all own it. I want it. It's over 50 grand though, and that card is just one of the best that you could ever see as far as a LeBron James Rookie Signatures Auto goes, or a rookie auto in general. Then a Mike Trout First Bowman Chrome, rated 9.5 by Beckett. It is also a beautiful card, as well as a Charizard First Edition PSA 10. Those are my 3 favorite assets on the platform, and there's a ton more. And I got a special gift for everyone watching. If you use the link in my description and you sign up with that, you'll get your first share on Otis free. Terms apply. So check them out. Danny says, my kid only likes Prism and Optic. Well, your kid's smarter then. Your kid figured it out pretty quickly. And that's not necessarily the general consensus of all kids, but good for you, buddy. I rent my kids out to Flippers, says Randall H. $20 a child. It's not a bad idea, buddy. It's like renting out a parking spot or something. Chris and Danny Novak says, collectors appreciate what you do, Schultzy. Flippers, not so much. Dude, absolutely. And I understand that. I understand that there's going to be a different people in here, and when I'm trying to do something for good people, that I'm trying to help people get cards that normally can't find them, there are going to be bad actors trying to use what I offer and use it for themselves. I mean, has that ever stopped in the world? Like, every time something comes out, or every time we come up with an idea, somebody tries to use it to their advantage in a bad way. So I'm not surprised there. Marie says, people use the kids with cards and autographs to sound like they care. Excuse me. Same as the sign for the kids. The kid later gives it to their dad or dealer. Usually, because their dad ends up knowing much more about it. Joe says, I've scored retail blasters with Schultzy once. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I'm sorry it's not more often, though, dude. It's definitely been a rough restock the past few weeks. On Target.com for sure. The Amazing Card Ninja says, this scalper bum in my area. He uses his daughter as a shield in order to take as much product as he can. Yes, I remember waiting behind people in line at Target that did that. All their kids basically in their pajamas. Like, you really drug your children out in like 40-degree weather, and your daughter's wearing pajama pants and flip-flops? Like, bro, get your daughter a coat on the way out. Please. Like, you're an idiot. Randall, you're funny. My wife doesn't want to have another kid, but I need to be able to buy more Prism. She's being extremely selfish. That's fantastic. That is hilarious. All right, you guys, 8:13 on the East Coast, 5:13 a.m., early on the West Coast. Unfortunately, no card drop this morning, but we did see some consoles come down, and hopefully people are able to score either some PlayStations or some Xboxes. But once again, Target skipping this week for a card drop. Theoretically, they skipped 3 weeks last time. Does that mean they're skipping next week and going to the end of the year? Does that mean that they are going to resume next week? We don't know. However, I will be back next Tuesday to try and help you figure it all out. Let's enjoy the Urban Meyer news today. I know a lot of people have been waiting for that to go down. So after you get off of the live stream, go watch ESPN and make sure you smash that like button, you guys. Helps me feed 2 kitties named Pikachu and Eevee. But go watch ESPN and the Urban Meyer trash fest that is going on the 4-letter right now. It's been a fun one in Massachusetts, you guys. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Sorry that there weren't any sports cards stocked this week. However, I will be back next week, like I said, bright and early Tuesday morning, hopefully, to help you figure all out when Target is dropping cards next. And hopefully we see a major restock next week. All right, you guys, yeah, smash that like button on your way out. I'm going to go. Got a lot of traveling to do today. Got a lot planned, so I hope you all are safe out there and you all can get about your days and enjoy your families and the rest of the holiday season. Just 9 sleeps until Christmas, you guys. Can you believe it? All right, well, I'm going to go get some more sleep, and then I'm going to go travel. So thanks, y'all, again, and we'll see y'all bright and early next Tuesday right here waiting for a restock again from Target.com. Good luck, everybody.